Hi guys. I know it's not quite 7:30 yet, but I got excited and figured I'm gonna just go ahead and hop on. Tonight I figured I would show you guys how to do those little gnomes that I've been making for the $25. I'll give you a little peek. So these are the ones I'm going to show you how to do tonight. I'm going to do one that's sitting, and I'm also going to do another one that's standing. These two are already sold. I have 3 that are available. I will show you. This is the first one that I had done. And then I had done a couple of the Santa Claus ones. So these 2 are still available. But I just finished one up tonight before I did the live, and I think he might be the cutest one yet. Doesn't he look like a little gingerbread man? I love how he turned out. And he's even got the little trim on there. But they're really simple to make. And I figured, why not? I will show everyone how to do them. And I even made it a little bit easier for me. After that first one, I wrote all the instructions down so I wouldn't forget. Hi, Danny. And I also made templates out of cardboard. That way, I don't have to measure and I don't have to wing it like I did on the very first one. So, what you're going to need is one of these little Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. And all that I did was I took all the little tinsel off of it, and then underneath there's little bumpies, like little spikes. Can you see that? There you go. And I don't trim any of that off. I mean, if you wanted to, you could, but the easier the better, I think. Danny, I was showing pictures of it not fully glued together, and some people were saying that that's their favorite too. Hi, Izzy. Are any of the other kids there? Hi, Echo, Joy, Maddox. I don't want to leave anybody out. So then you will get this. And some of them are different colors. Color doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter either. I mean, you can make them smaller if you wanted to. If you could find the boots smaller. Or you wouldn't even have to have feet if you didn't want to. You could use anything. You could prop this up on like a little jar. The ideas are endless. So for now, I'm just going to set this aside. I will cover that with a hand towel later. And then these are his little boots. It's just a little ornament that I got from the Dollar Tree. I pull all of this stuff off. You don't have to. Sometimes it comes off really easy. It just peels right off. Sometimes it's a little struggle. And I did try one where I left all of these hard pieces on there, and it still worked. You couldn't tell that it was on there. And I mean, they break apart, so see how that's on there? I could leave that on there and you wouldn't even notice when it was completely done. Because sometimes they stick pretty good on there. And you could take all of the tinsel off of there, but you have to watch out because they will fall apart. You can glue them together, but I figure it's just going to get covered anyway. So the less work I have to do, the better. And then you just get a pair of socks. The first gnome I'm going to do is a blue one. This one I'm just going to do as an example. So you just get a pair of the fluffy socks. You can get those at the Dollar Tree as well. And it's just like putting your socks on. You go all the way to the toe because you want that toe to be in the toe of the sock. Then you just pull that up on there. And then all the extra, you could cut that off if you wanted. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that. I just tuck it inside. It kind of helps as a filler too. Plus, if you do the standing one, you can kind of take it apart and redo it if you wanted. So then you have your little boot. And I've already done the blue ones because I'm going to be doing the blue gnome tonight. I'm going to do the blue one and the black one. The other one, I'm probably going to wait and do that maybe tomorrow before some family members come. Okay. And then you also need a little piece of felt. It's like 23 cents or 28 cents at Walmart. And then I made a little template. It's kind of going to look like a diaper. So I don't know if you can see that very well. This is one of the first ones, so he has a little bit of puckers up here. This one won't have as much because I kind of fixed it as I kept going with the gnomes. So this one fits a little bit better. So then all you're going to do is trace that out on your felt. And if you didn't have a template, it's very easy. All that you do is you just lay this on the bottom. You can mark it, or you can just make a square and do it. It's pretty forgiving. I kind of muddled with my first one, and then I learned from it. And then that's how I did my patterns and made my templates. Especially since I loved how the first one turned out, I really wanted to be able to do it a little bit faster. So what better than to have the templates? Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys, the reason why I had to push my live a little bit further back is because Walmart had a Cricut on sale, and I wanted to make sure that I got it. And I did. Thank goodness. It should be here on the 4th. So, in the future, keep your eye out. I'll probably be using that Cricut. Alright, so then this is... Let's see. I'll just measure it. It's about 9 inches long. And then from the top of the rounded parts, so it's about 4.5 inches. So it's about 4.5 inches from this point to here. And then from this, it's 9 inches. And then I just eyeballed this part here. Alright, so I have that done. That's going to be his backside when he sits. And you'll stuff him with Walmart or Dollar Tree, whatever. I just use plastic bags, but you can also use newspaper or polyfill. Just something that kind of gives him a little bit of cushion to sit, because where those boots stop about here, and then your tree, or where the hat is, it ends here. So all of this is just empty space. So the bags or paper or whatever is going to fill that spot to help him sit. And then once you get the hat done, you're going to want that brim. In the first few, I used towels, but I also thought that the dust mops would create a really nice brim to a hat. And I found about 14 inches works best. And since I've used some, that one's a little bit shorter. So I might have to just use a little bit of this one. And if you notice, this is the back side. So where there's stitching, you can find that you can cut in between those stitchings. So I'll be able to get 1, 2, 3, about four of them with this. So all that I do is I find where in between the stitching is. And then I'll show you. There's a gap. So see how there's a gap? I'm going to try down here. There's a gap in between. So all I'm going to do is cut down the center of that. And since they stitch this on all 4 sides, you're going to have some fly away. Don't worry about it. There's plenty there that you're not going to miss the stuff that falls out. And if you are, you can always hot glue it back on there. So all that I do is create like a little spot to where I know where to cut. And I've already done some of them already. I just wanted to show you and have one to where I could demonstrate it. And I just cut a little bit, then run my hand between there so I know that I'm not cutting right where they stitched. Okay, so there's that. And then here's where you're going to see where some of it's just going to fall right out. Because along that shorter section, or the shorter edge, that's where it's stitched. So some of that's going to come right out. But that's okay. And then on some of the dust mops, I don't know, can you see that? I've noticed they're not fully consistent. Like this part here is higher up than this part as well. All you have to do is just trim it if you like, or you can leave it that way. It's totally up to you. But after I get both of these done, I just put a little bit of glue on the end. And then I attach it to the other end of the other one. And I found with these, I normally do the beard and get all of that stuff done first. And then after I have the beard done, then I move on to the hat. But there's no right or wrong way of doing it. You could do any of it first. Actually, technically I do the boots first. And then I do the beard. Okay, so I've got that glued on there. And then you take 8 strands from a mop head. You're going to fold each of the strand over in half, and then each of those over in half. So you're pretty much doing each strand into fourths. And you just do that to all 8. After a while, they whip up really, really fast. And I tried getting everything laid out a little bit so it'd be a little bit more organized. But I find even if I do that, I'm still a little messed. The space is still a little messy and everything. But I just go with the flow. It is somewhat organized. It's a messy organization here. Now the beard for the black one, I've already got all of those cut. I did that earlier. I saved this one so I could show you the process. Okay, so there's those. Alright, I'm just going to set this out of the way. This is the template that I made for the hat. And I'll show you how I use that here in a bit. Alright, so all I'm going to do is get all the little hairs in the wispies to where they're off of it's kind of like a felt on the back. So I'm just kind of pulling that away so I can put the glue there. And I save those wispies for the detail of the brim of the hat. Oh, and just a little tip. I was using a paper plate to go underneath my my glue gun. But I thought, I don't want to have to use that all the time. Well, I end up getting one of these little pot holders or whatever. And it's the silicone ones. They work amazing. The glue doesn't stick to it. It just pops right out of there. And with the little grooves, the glue will sit and nestle in there. And I just have to go like this. And it pops right off of there. And it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. And it kind of grips to my table. So it doesn't go sliding everywhere too. Hi, Kelly. Okay. So I'm going to start gluing down some of those strands for the beard. I'm just going to kind of find the center and put some glue down. And then I put those strands side by side. And I mean, you can do multiple layers if you wanted, like a more full beard. But I found just one row. It works just fine. And if you're really good about burning your fingers on the glue, they do have little finger protectors. I always forget that I have them, so I don't use mine very often. But the Dollar Tree does have those as well. I haven't bothered looking at Walmart. I'm sure they probably have some too, or even like the craft stores. It's already starting to look like a beard. In this blue one, I'm gonna make him where he's sitting down. This one will take longer than the one that I'm gonna do. The black one I'm gonna have standing up. That one won't take as long. With the one that stands, you won't need to stuff it. Okay. So then I just make sure that that is down pretty good. And then you flip it over. It's already looking cute. And then I have a container of wooden beads. I got them at Walmart. But the Dollar Tree has beads too. Or buttons. Just whatever you have lying around the house will work. I think I'm going to use this one. Because the blue one I have a lot of silver. So it's just a little wooden bead. And the holes, 1 second, I'm going to use this one since that one just went shooting off the table. The holes on there, I always put towards the outside. It kind of makes it look like he has nostrils. I'll do this one. And when you hold them, you want to make sure you have a good grip on them. Otherwise, they go shooting across the table. Then you just find the center. And you glue that down. Then your little gnome has a nose. It's kind of hidden, isn't it? That's the good thing about this fluff. You can kind of play around with it to where... Plus, when it's around on the thing, you'll be able to see it. I promise. Okay, so this part is done. So I'll just set it aside. I'll set those boots over here too. Then you're going to need a little hand towel. I tell you, the kitchen section, that's the place to look for crafts. They've got quite a bit of really, really cute tablecloths that you can cut up. Or the towels. They've got some really cute patterns. Okay. Setting that there. And I always put the side with the tag over in the top far corner. And then I have this along that far edge. Okay, that works. And for this you can either use chalk or marker, whatever you like. I also have one of these little rotaries. That works really well too. And you just go along the edge of where you want that cut. It works really, really nice. Just be sure not to cut your template. saves a lot of time. And this one, it's about 23 inches long. And then right about the 4-inch mark, that's where I start curving it. And it goes to about the 17. But how I ended up doing this was I set my hat or my tree on the edge of my towel. And as I made the pattern, I just kind of rolled it and figured where I wanted to mark that for my template. And then I made sure that it was just really long because I wanted to flop over. Okay, so then here's your piece. And a lot of times I'll just shake it to get all the little extra fluff out of there. All right. Then you grab your form. Then you're gonna put some glue around this very bottom edge there. And I just have the edge of this just a little bit past, so it kind of curls under a little bit. And then I'm going to run a little bit of glue just down this way, just to kind of hold that in place. And I don't know if there's like a right-handers and left-handers way. You just do whatever is easiest for you. I find that I switch hands off and on with the glue gun, so I can't really say that I'm strictly left-handed with it. Alright, we're getting closer. When these get done, they look like a craft that would be sold like at Walmart or in a store. I like how it looks finished. If I would have left that bottom open of the sitting ones, it wouldn't have looked as finished, and it would have been harder to carry it around. And then I'm at the beginning, and I want this to overlap just a little bit. That's why I made it so big. So then once that's overlapped there, you'll notice the first part is curved around. You're going to leave that at that curve. Then you're going to pull this tip and where it's connected here. And you're going to notice that it lays flat. That is where you're going to glue it. Is right where it lays flat. And I just put a bead of glue right at the edge. And I found at this point, that's when I end up switching hands. I no longer use my left hand, I use my right hand. I mean, it's coming together pretty fast because I've already got the boots done and I've already got the beard and the brim of the hat. After this, it's pretty much assembly and stuffing and then embellishments. I think this blue one's going to be really pretty. I don't normally like blue, but I find myself gravitating towards it a lot more lately. And eventually, I have a feeling I will make myself one of these, but right now, I'm making them for people to purchase for gifts if they want. Or for themselves. They turn out super cute. Okay, now that I'm at the end there, where this is connected, that's going to be kind of on the side because it automatically wants to flop over. Turns out so cute. And a lot of times I will trim off just a little bit of that hat. Kind of gives it a nice even spot to glue. I normally put like a little jingle bell or something on there with a little bow. Okay. Setting that there. Then this is the fun part. I kind of like the standing ones a little bit more though because you have to kind of gauge. Because with them sitting down, you're going to want these toes up. So the feet towards you. And then what you're going to do, I also have Walmart sacks. Any sacks will do, or you can use newspaper. But first of all, what I do is I want to attach these right at the top, but I want to leave some space so it looks like his legs are open just slightly so he's in a sitting position. Plus that fills out the bottom of the hat just a little bit more, gives it just a little bit more space. So I'm going to put some glue. And then And I'm just going to hold them together a little bit. Make sure there's still that little bit of space. I love how these little socks have a little speck of gray in there. That's why I chose it. This one's going to have a silver bell. And also make sure that it's not dripping down to your table to where it's going to stick to your table, because that happened to me the other day. So you just want it, I mean, you can even clamp it if you want, but just make sure that there's a little bit of space. And if you wanted, you could put something there to keep that space there. And so the hat is going to kind of just sit at an angle on him. So the bottom is hitting the table and the top part is resting on those legs. Now where it touches on the legs, that's where you're going to glue. And then when you stuff it, it's going to leave that opening. And that's why you need that little diaper section or that little cover. And I mean, you could just put like a circle or a square or whatever, but I just made it look like a little diaper. Okay. I'm going to have it facing me just because it's easier for me to see where to place the glue. And I normally hold it with one hand and then just tilt it just slightly so I know where to put that glue. And I normally put a good generous amount on there just to keep it in place. Then I just hold it for a little bit so it'll dry. And as you can see, it does sit all by itself right now. But I want it to dry just a little bit more. Before I stuff it. I like this color. Wait till you see the embellishments I chose for this. The embellishments for this one has, it kind of looks like little blueberries on it. I think it's going to be cute. Okay, I think he's dry. He probably could use a little bit more, but I'm going to kind of tip him on his front there to where it's looks like he's got his tush in the air. And then I'm going to take one of the bags and I'm going to stuff that. And I mean, you could have stuffed the hat first if you like. I'm a rebel, and I guess I wanted to just have it a little bit harder for me. It probably would have been easier to do it first. But you're just going to kind of create a spot for him to sit. And I normally use about 3 bags. So he's kind of stuffed. And that's just so he can sit. See, he sits really nice. If it wasn't stuffed, this would be down and he'd tip backwards. So since I have this nicely done there, I'm going to glue this on. Now what I normally do first is I just kind of gauge it to see where that's going to fit. I'm going to put the bead of glue around this top edge, and that's going to go along here. Okay. I'm going to stuff him a little bit, push that down just slightly. And then this, I'm going to glue down by his legs. And you can even turn him on his side, just whatever works for you. And you're going to glue the leg part down. And you really won't see this part since it's going to be sitting down. Then once I have that glued down, that's what he's going to look like. And he's got like a diaper on his bottom. And you will see that there is still a little space here. You can either stuff that as well and cover it, or just leave it. I've been leaving it because it gets hidden with the beard and you're not even going to see that. So then I take the beard and figure where I want to place him. Make sure it's centered. I think I want it there. Isn't he looking cute? And now is where you cut it and kind of decide how long you need. Go to about here. There we go. And he will shed some more because you cut a little bit of that fur off of there. So all I'm going to do is just peel this back and just put some glue there. And I'm just going to glue that hat down. Be sure not to glue the tip of his hat down. Okay. Then you just kind of hold it down a little bit, let the glue set. He's looking cute. I love how these turn out. And you can embellish the boots if you want. Some of the other ones I had put, well, I'll show you on the gingerbread man one. I put like the little stuff on there. Some of the others I put a little bit of twine and jingle bells. And I figured with this one, I would put a little bit of twine, and then I took, this is that sprig that I'm gonna use to embellish his hat. And I bought 2 of those, and I pulled the berries off of that second one because I'm gonna use those instead of jingle bells on his boots. And I know a lot of you are going to say, you're not going to see him because the beard is down there. But I like the little details. Sometimes that just kind of finishes the project. And it adds a little bit of character. So I'm going to take one of those berries and just stick that down where I would put, I think I'm only going to use one because that looks really cute. Can you see that? Just kind of finishes off his boots. And I'm putting the glue on the berry where I pulled it off of the stem. That way you don't see that white part. This way, now his boots are all embellished. That way if his beard moves out of the way, you can see it. So he's really cute. And his boots, I'll move those out of the way so you can see his boots. They just look so cute. And his hat, I normally bring it up just slightly, and then I will put a little bit of glue here and glue it down. And then this part just kind of dangles, the last bit. He's looking so cute. Now for this part, the little tip of his hat, I want to make a little bow. And how I've been doing that on the other ones is I just wrap this around this twine, the same color that I used for his boots. I'm going to wrap that around my palm 6 times. Then I pinch it in the center. And then I just take a little piece here and tie that around the center. And I just tie a knot. And then the little loops, they separate just slightly. And that forms a cute little bow. Gonna put a little dab of glue on the back side. I'll show you about how far up I did. Just enough room for the bell to glue underneath it. And I've noticed on the jingle bells, when you put hot glue on the back, the bell will get warm. There. I had to trim it just a little bit. It was a little long for my taste. So then all I did was added that little jingle bell. So here he is without embellishments. And I mean, he's good just the way he is this way. But I always love putting something across that hat. So what I've thought of doing is I'm just going to pull these apart. And I have my little wire cutters too. I'm just going to snip it right below where I want to put that in there. Okay. So see those berries? I want those berries to be featured on there. And when I clipped it, it came out into 2 separate spots. So if I wanted, if I put both of them on there and I think it's like too much, I can add or subtract what I want. And then I just kind of play around with it a little bit just to see how I want it to look. So I'm going to save these 2 pieces for another project. And I'm going to glue down just 1 sprig of this one. And I just put a nice generous amount of glue on there. On both sides. And then I tuck it right where I have that, the end of his hat, right where his hat meets the brim. I'm going to tuck it in there so it's kind of hidden under that brim. That way too, it kind of goes up and over his hat a little bit. And you can use some glue to kind of give it a little bit more stability back here, just by gluing a little bit at the top, and that'll keep it in place. He's really coming together. And I'm also going to glue this one down a little higher up as well, so it stays in place. And I could leave it just like that, but I kind of like a little extra element. So I was thinking of adding like a little pine cone right where those meet. And then that just kind of gives it that little extra pizzazz, I guess. I use that word a lot, I noticed in my lives. It just needs a little bit of pizzazz, and I think this will help it. He looks so cute. It's only been an hour. You guys willing to sit with me for another hour if it takes that for the next one? I've got everything all cut out for that one now. And that one's going to take less time because it's standing. Maybe bring him a little bit closer. I mean, you can make it as full or as simple as you want up at the top there. If I named these, I would probably name him Blueberry because those look like blueberries. They turn out so cute. Oh my goodness. Let me know what you guys think. He's done. So then I can move on to the next one. The next one's going to be a black one. Black and gold. So I'm going to go ahead and stick him on the table here. So cute. All right. So this one's going to be a standing one. But I've got everything already cut, ready to go. I think what I'm going to do first, though, is decorate his boots. With him, he's going to stand, so his legs will be together, so it'll be a little bit harder to get that twine through the center. I found I am addicted to this little bit of twine. Kind of gives it a little rustic look. And that's been one of the things that I'm really into this year. Okay, now I'm going to place a little gold jingle bell. In the center. So there's one boot. And you're probably saying I waste a lot of twine. I do, because I rather have too much than not enough when I tie, because I'm not the best at making bows. I always find myself pulling on it and trying to make it a little bit better looking. Okay. So there's his boots. Those are ready. Then I'm going to piece these two pieces together. And all that I'm doing is pulling the fur to where I have that little edge that's sewn. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that edge. And that's where I'm going to place it on that other one. I think this one's going to look really pretty too, because I chose gold. So this is going to be the embellishment on this one. That on black is going to look really sharp. And with these, I get them out of the 96 or 98 cent bins at Walmart. I think they have little ones like this at Dollar Tree as well. So either way, I don't know, I love looking at all those. And they've already got them clumped together, so you don't have to piece everything together if you didn't want to. Okay, so that's dried enough. Grab more glue. So then I'm going to glue down my beard. I've already got that cut. You just go to the center. Put down some glue. And when you cut these, you'll find that they do unravel a little bit. That's okay, because that just adds character to your gnome. So if I find one side is frayed more than the other, I will do the frayed end at the bottom. Just because it gives them more character. And if you wanted, you could separate them. That would create a little bit more full of a beard. What are you guys thinking so far? I kind of, before I did the live, I ended up getting my daughter's input on everything. Like, does this look good? Does this look good? Should I use a big bell? Should I use little bells and clump them? And so I kind of figured out how I wanted it to look beforehand. Normally I ask you guys what you think, but I mean, you can decorate them with anything. Just use what you have around the house. I just love how they turn out. They turn out way better than what I thought it would. And if you guys make any, show me pictures, because I love seeing what all you guys do. I've had some people message me, and they've shown me some of their projects that they've done that I inspired them to do, and I love that. So if you guys do make them, show me pictures. I want to see your spin on it. You don't have to do it exactly like mine. I want to just see everybody's crafts. Danny, I want you to be able to do one sometime, so we're going to have to do some more crafting. This one I'm going to use the brown bead because that's what I got. The other one's still on the floor across the room. And you know, after I do my lives, I always watch. I watch it back just to see how everything turns out. I'm kind of really excited to see this one because I want to see what it looks like. The look on my face when that bead shot across the room. Alright, so there's his nose. It turned out so cute. And really, I'm almost done with this one. And that's 2 in one night. That's just crazy. Crazy simple. Anybody can do them. And so the black one, I've already got it cut out. And I didn't have anything cut when I come home from work today. Ooh, Harry Potter gnomes would be good, Danny. That's a good idea. My goodness. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. I think we might have an addiction with that Harry Potter stuff. I mean, it's not a bad addiction. It could be something worse. So on this, I'm just doing the same thing that I did before. I'm putting that close to the edge. Then I'm going to glue just down this a little bit. just to kind of keep it in place. And just before I went live, I was on a Dollar Tree site, and somebody had wanted to see the Harry Potter crafts. Oh my goodness. I posted some of the pictures of the stuff that we've done, and I ended up getting tons of followers just from that in the shortest amount of time. You guys blow me away with how many people are following me. I never thought that doing crafts would excel this much. I am so thankful for you guys. I really like that you guys like watching my lives. And I really hope that you guys have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. We're just going to have a small gathering. My younger brother's coming to visit, and his wife. And then we're going to have video chats with some of the other family members. And since it's a small gathering, I just made some cheddar chowder with like a veggie soup. It was a big hit with the kids. Ooh, yeah, my Doctor Who would be, oh my goodness. Danny, my house is going to be filled with gnomes now. I mean, it's already filled with gnomes, but oh my goodness. I was thinking I was going to have to keep one. Now I'm probably going to end up having to keep several. Because one's going to have to be a regular one. And then I'm going to have a Harry Potter one. And then I'm going to have a Doctor Who one. Who knows? I'll probably end up having other characters. I mean, the possibilities. I'm not kidding. These things whip up so easy. You can make all sorts. You could even do the sorcerer from the Mickey Mouse one from Fantasia. That would be cute. You make his little wizard hat, and then you add little ears. That'd be so cute. This is really cute. Hi, Robin. My goodness. Ooh, I could do, oh my goodness. Good thing these are not that expensive to make. Because I'm going to end up needing tons and I'm going to have a room full of gnomes, and I'll probably fill Brent's man cave. I still have stuff that I have to make him, because I never finished on those wands. I get to doing one craft and then my brain just keeps going and I'm like, oh, I got this other craft that I want to do. And then I start doing that craft and I'm like, oh, I got this other craft to do. And then that first craft that I said I was going to do 3 or 4 of those, that gets put on the back burner because all these other ideas are going through my head. Do you guys have that happen to you? Because that happens a lot with me. But I'm really loving doing these lives. And I appreciate every single one of you guys watching and giving me feedback and supporting me on this. Danny, I never finished all the wands for your dad. I told him I was going to make him all those wands, and I only made him one. Because I've been busy with all of my other crafts. Okay. I'm just going to hold that a little bit. The glue is taking a little bit to cool down on me. You'll see how this one doesn't take as much time as the other one. The other one, with all the stuffing and placing of the legs and stuff, it takes a little bit. This one, once you have the hat and the beard and the boots done, it goes so fast. Okay. And I have tons of wispies. Okay. So, there's that. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just turn the boots towards me, but for now I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some glue up here where they meet, and I'm going to glue them together. Once that dries a little bit to where they stay in place, I'm just going to stick this over top, and then where it touches, that's where I will put the glue. So I'm going to turn this to me. I'm just going to put a lot of glue there. And I like that even with those socks on there, they don't tip or anything, and it's so lightweight. They're not heavy. And I mean, you could probably put pebbles or something in the boots to make it a little sturdier or heavy. I found it doesn't really need it. And you can have the hat tipping this way or that way. I don't know. It must be my OCD because I have all of them going to my left. Okay. Then I'm just going to place this where I want, and then I'm going to lay it down so I see where it's touching. And then I will put glue where it's needed. And I'm just putting it there on the sides. Then I'm going to bring it back up, make sure it still sits good. sure I got glue where I need it. And this hat, I'm going to pull it up just slightly. I don't want his boots covered completely. But the lower part of the hat, when you have the beard on there, it kind of looks like his shirt. And then once he's glued in place there, then you're going to decide how far up you want the beard. I'm just going to place some glue along the beard and above. Then I'm going to place that on there. Make sure that you don't glue down that top there. And then you're going to trim what you don't need before you glue the rest of it. Okay. Then I'm just going to glue the rest of this beard down in the brim. He looks so cute already. And I don't know if you can tell, but this one I kind of placed where I met both of those pieces of the dust mop together. It kind of raised up and formed like a little bald area, almost like a raised pom-pom type spot. And I kind of wanted that effect because that's where his nose is sitting, so it kind of fluffed it up right there. Kind of gives him a little bit more character. And if this is a little bit too fluffy, you can always take the scissors and trim it up however you want it. He's looking so cute. Alright, then, of course, whoops, I put this up just a little bit. And I will go ahead and glue that. I have a feeling these are going to be so popular because you can make all sorts. So then all you do is you glue that down. Do you think the Dollar Tree would think I was crazy if I bought all of their little trees? Go in there and buy like 30, 40 of them. They'd probably think I'm crazy. And I've already debated on buying all of their boots. Okay, so now for the end of his hat, I'm going to do another little bow. I'm going to show you how I did that again. So around these 4 fingers, I'm just going to wrap it around 6 times. And then grab it in the center. With the bulk on Dollar Tree, for the boots, it comes with an assortment, so you can't just buy the boots alone. It has to be with all the other things, and they have like a penguin and a little house and all that. I just want the boots. So, this last time I had went in there, I want to say I bought 12 boots. And they did look at me a little funny. And when I walked in, they said, "Oh, you're back again?" Yeah, several times a week. And if you ask several friends of mine at Walmart, they see me in the craft aisle like crazy. Probably every day. I go there on my lunch hour. So, I just love how everything turns out. So, alright. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dab of glue on here. And with crafting, I have to be able to put my ideas to life. I have to see if it's going to work. Robin, I like that. I'm thrifty. I'm not crazy. There still might be a little bit of crazy. You know the family, so there might be a little bit of crazy in there. And I still think I glued that just a little bit high up, so I might end up still having to trim this down. I do it every time. There we go. Okay. Trim that. And then he has a little bow next to the jingle bell. And then this, hopefully I can snip it just a little bit close to the end. Should be, because it's not that wide or not that thick. And I just made the comment today, you know, how many crafts have glitter in it? Every craft that you do. Because once you use glitter, you're not getting rid of it. So I'm sure this gold glitter will be in many more crafts that I do because it's going everywhere. Even if the craft doesn't call for glitter, it'll be there. Then put that down in the... Oh my goodness. This doesn't even need a pine cone or anything. This has the little ball on there. I am going to glue down the top a little bit so it lays a little bit better. Oh my goodness, you guys. So cute. I'm going to turn them around here in a second. I need to let this glue dry just a little. guys. I know I said I like that other one. It's probably my favorite. He might be my favorite too. Okay. What do you think of him? Oh, this one goes over there. And he just stands up. He's very easy to take everywhere. So these are the ones that we did today. And it's only been like about an hour and a half. That's mainly because I had already done some of the prep. But boy, oh boy, so adorable. I would say with all the cutting and measuring, even with my templates, you know, it probably takes a good hour, maybe even an hour and a half, just for one gnome. Because you have to cut all of the mop, and you have to put the boots together. You got to cut the hat. You got to do this here. So with all the prep work, I would say it's probably about an hour, hour and a half for the craft. Unless you're a little bit quicker. The ones sitting down take way more time than the other one because you have to stuff them. But I had a lot of people asking me how to do them. I mean, don't you think that this looks like something that you would get from like Walmart? But it was made with love, it wasn't factory made. And just out of stuff that you have, you know, the hat, you wouldn't even have to use that. All you have to find is, you could use a funnel, you could use, anything that is kind of like a cone shape. You could even use a styrofoam cone. Yeah, so if they don't have any of the trees, I mean, I could still make them. I'd probably do the standing up ones more than the sitting down ones. So these two would be for sale as well. $25 each. So far I have five gnomes that can be purchased. One still, I haven't put it together yet. And I probably won't do it on the live because here in a second I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. But I just wanted to show you guys how to do at least one standing and one sitting. That way if you want to recreate them, you'll have all those tools. And if you find an easier way of doing them, let me know. And I appreciate every single one of you. I am so glad that you guys like to watch the videos. And if I reach 350, I'm probably going to draw another name. And then I'll probably do 2 names on the hundreds as I go. But on the 50s, I'll draw a name. And when Christmas comes close, I'm probably just going to do a Christmas drawing. Just because I like to gift. So that's one of the best feelings anybody can ever have. Just seeing somebody receive that gift, oh my goodness, that's the best gift you can get in return. So I'm going to go ahead and log off. I just want to thank you guys for all of the support, all of the kind words, and watching me do my lives, and enjoying all of this, and giving me feedback. I'm going to be doing lots more. Just keep watching. If there's anything you want me to try, message me. Have any questions, message me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I'm going to get off, and I want you guys to know how much I really do appreciate you. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye.